are tracking an update on the potential pardon of convicted murderer Daniel Perry. Less than 1 year ago, Perry was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the 2020 murder of Black Lives Matter protester Garrett Foster.
Governor Greg Abbott has publicly called for the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles to review Perry's case. The KVUE Defenders recently obtained records showing that the board is now meeting with key parties in this case.
Senior reporter Tony Plohetsky is here with more on the case. Tony?
Hey, Ashley and Brian, the revelation that the board is now actively considering a possible pardon for Perry, he's an Army sergeant and a self-avowed racist, could reignite a political firestorm in this case. Some view the effort to undo the conviction and the death of Garrett Foster as a political maneuver that threatens to undermine the justice system. Others, though, see it as correcting an injustice.
The jury found the defendant Daniel Perry guilty of
10 months after this scene in a Travis County courtroom, Daniel Perry convicted of murder and the death of Black Lives Matter protester Garrett Foster, the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles is set to consider granting Perry a pardon. Multiple emails obtained by the KVUE Defenders show board officials and Travis County DA Jose Garza are in the midst of conversations about scheduling a presentation for prosecutors to argue against the pardon. Board General Counsel Betty Wells wrote Garza on February 7th that the board would look to meet with Garza and prosecutors in late March or early April, and that, quote, "We will move forward with interviews, meetings of other persons, and schedule a time to meet with you and your staff afterwards." Separately, KVUE has confirmed that former Austin Police Detective David Fugit, who investigated the case and deemed the shooting justified, met with the board in January.
This happening right now is just like reliving it all over again.
Whitney Mitchell, Garrett Foster's fiance, wants the chance to be heard also.
I feel like everything was put out there, the evidence, everything that we went through. I don't know, all I can say is that it's devastating, and it's just, like I said, it's just bringing up all of it all over again.
Mitchell was with Foster that night in June 2020 in downtown Austin. The case centered on whether Perry was justified in shooting Foster, who had a rifle. Abbott asked the board to expedite a review of the case, saying that the conviction violated the state's Stand Your Ground law. Prosecutors argued that Perry instigated the incident by driving into the protest and had documented animosity toward the social justice movement.
And I'm just trying to figure out why Perry, honestly.
Abbott sought the request from the board after ultra-conservative voices such as Tucker Carlson and Kyle Rittenhouse demanded the pardon. Under state law, the board must issue a recommendation before the governor can act. In a statement, the Board of Pardons and Paroles says that it is, quote, still in the process of investigating Daniel Perry for a possible pardon recommendation to the governor. Upon completion of the investigation and vote, the decision of the Board of Pardons and Paroles will be available. And that seven-member board is appointed by Governor Abbott. There is no timeline for when a decision will be made. Perry was sentenced to 25 years in prison. In addition to possibly being freed, a pardon would allow him to run for office and vote, among other rights restored.